inkproducts.com has now released its newest refill kit for the Epson Workforce 4630 and 4640. These are extra large cartridges. They hold over 110 milliliters of ink. I'm going to show you how to fill them in the video and how to swap out the chip when that needs to be replaced. We'll fill the magenta. You're going to get all the syringes and tips that you're going to need to show you how to fill it. Now I just want to point this out. This is the Epson cartridge, standard cartridge. And I weighed it. It only weighs 2.26 ounces. That's 8 milliliters of ink. That's all it holds. And the XL holds a little bit more. Inside, it's just a little bag filled with the ink. Now with Epson's new printers, they now have a chip that cannot be reset or cloned. So each one of the chips that we supply have a different serial number. Once the serial number is used up in that printer, it cannot accept the same serial number over again. So we have the serial numbers start off with 001. My videos I always show you using a little box to hold my ink, and I usually make that to hold the cartridge. So we're going to put the cartridge in, and we're going to start to fill it. Now in the cartridge, you'll notice there's a small plug right here. That's an air hole plug. That stays in. And there's the fill plug. But when it's in the printer, it's imperative that you have that air hole plug out, or this little plug out. If you don't, you'll starve the print head and damage it. So now we're going to get ready. Got it on. We're going to install the tip. It's just going to screw on the front. These are 30 milliliter syringes. And the syringe is going to say discard after use. Ignore that. That's because they're veterinarian syringes. So with that syringe, I'll fill the syringe up 3 times to fill the cartridge up. So now we'll take the plug out. Remember, we're leaving a little plug in. We only take that out when we're going to put it in the printer. And we're going to go in the bottle and fill it all the way up. Now I'm going to get on the side, and you can see we'll start to fill it. And we're going to fill it right up here to this line right here, as we're not going to go beyond this when filling it. We're going to unscrew. These are called lower locks. So you have to unscrew the tip. You want to wipe it off a little bit. You're going to put it in the barrel of the syringe to save it. And you can mark it with a magic marker. You know, magenta, cyan, yellow, black. So you know which one to use the next time. But that's going to give you 20 milliliters of ink left over that you'll be able to add later on. So you pull back the plunger, and you'll be able to slide that little tip in. It's a good way to store it. Now we're going to put on that, before we install that tip, we're going to cut it on a 45-degree angle. So you want to mark about 1/8 of an inch. And take a pair of scissors and put it on a 45-degree angle. And then cut it. There. Now you can screw it onto the syringe, and we'll go into the front of the exit port and purge at least 5 cc's of ink out. Now you want to make sure you take that little air plug out. That's when you're doing this. Not the back plug. Don't take that out. That's only for filling. Okay, now let's go into the front port. Push it in, and you should be able to pull out. If it's real tough, then it's a little bit too long. There it goes. Pull up to the 5 cc's. Now when you do that, it's going to fill that microscreen. That's what we want to do. Then that ink can either be added to the bottle, or you can put it back in the cartridge. That's how you test it and purge it. By pulling that ink out, it showed you that the ink's going to flow into the printhead. So that's how we test these cartridges. When you're printing along, it's going to say the chip is empty or depleted. You're going to remove it and put the next serial number chip on. But there's going to be plenty of ink in the cartridge. There's enough ink in this cartridge to equal 15 cartridges. So when you get the chip, they're mounted to these little, what we call chip boards. So we're going to show you how under the tab and just pick it up a little bit. You got one on each side and then it'll come right off. There you go. And then you'll just have to snap the new one on. That's how easy it is to take the chip off. Yellow cartridge that I had in, so I'm going to go put it in now, and you're going to see the ink level. Now, there's a little vent plug in there, the air vent plug. You must take that out. Not the fill plug, but that vent plug. If you forget to do it, you're going to damage the printhead. So don't forget. Your Epson cartridges, you want to take them out and save them, because you might need them later on for testing. So I'm just going to put this yellow in now. I don't like mixing our refillable cartridges with the Epson cartridges. I like to take the Epsons out and save them. And then if I'm having a problem, I put them in and use them to test the printer. Okay, it's going to say preparing. Okay, now it's going to prepare. Okay, now I'm going to go press ink level. You can see my level ink is real low. That's because I ran all these solid yellows just to show you what's going to happen. I already showed you in the video how to replace the chip. You will not need to fill the cartridges. More yellow, solid yellow, and now it says on the screen you need to replace the following cartridge. That's when I would take it out, put the little vent plug right back in there, and then go change out the chip. But you see how much ink I still have in there? That's what I'm saying. You don't have to fill these a lot. Take it out. Put the rubber plug back in, the little plug, so you don't spill ink all over. You won't need to fill it. On that red X. Now for sure we have to go over, take that chip off. You don't have to fill a cartridge. Put the chip on, put it back in, and you're set to go again. You can keep printing. Now, the way I have it figured out for the amount of yellow copies that we ran at 95 or better coverage, that's like about 1,000 to 2,000 copies. A lot more than any Epson cartridge will ever give you. So go to inkproducts.com for our latest refill ink system. Yellow chip, because we used up the one. Now that was 001. Now we're going to put on 002. You may want to save those chips so you don't forget what chip code you want to put on next. But it's pretty easy. It's the next one's 02, 03. That's the way it goes. So you put the chip on, hook it on the front, pull it down, and lock it in. That's it. Like I said, you can save the chip if you want, mark it. They're marked what color they are. They do not require a battery. They're the newest IC chip. And it tells you right on there the serial number, the color. So these are the latest COC-Smart-Chips. Okay, now I'm going to go and put it in the printer, and I don't even have to fill that cartridge. Yellow. Now you want to push right in the center, because if you don't push in the correct spot, it'll keep popping out. Now you can see I've got the Epson cartridges in there. I will take them out because I want you to save them. I don't want you to use them up. Now we'll close up. It's going to go to preparing. Takes a second. And now we'll go to ink level. It's full. And now it's going to complete to print out what we had set it for. That's how simple it was. To replace the chip, shut it down. That's a lot of yellow. Like I said, that's a couple thousand pages